The full moon in Aries on October 6th is shining a light on you. It is shining a light on each and every single one of us because Aries represents the self. So this is actually the unmasked self. And as we know, this is a supermoon, meaning the moon is significantly closer to Earth than it usually is, which also means that it is supercharging the energy that is present under this full moon and the energy of the message that this full moon brings. So I broke this video down in 5 parts, and I'm going to be explaining 5 different areas here to pay attention to not only during, but like for this entire week. And everything I'm going to talk about here in today's video is actually going to be impactful, and the message is going to stay relevant for the rest of this year and probably for the rest of our lives, because this full moon in Aries is the universe's way of shining a light and showing us how we individually and collectively wear masks, how we hide certain truths from ourselves, how we hide certain truths from other people. And when it comes through in this amplified form, in the form of a supermoon, that means that the universe is saying, like, pay extra attention to this because this is extra important right now. And the things that I'm about to talk about in this video are precisely the things that we need to not only invest in more, but become like hyper aware of. So let's hop straight into the first one. The first thing I wrote down was radical self-love. This is one of the messages of this full moon today. Now, I know we all know what the word radical means, but I just want to remind you here for a moment that radical means thorough and complete. So this is thorough, complete self-love. So this full moon is shining a light on you needing to radically not only love yourself, but radically value yourself, your authenticity, and your zone of genius. And I will get into the zone of genius thing a little bit later in the video, but right now let's just focus on this radical valuing of yourself. Okay, what does this mean? Let's break this down. Okay, so when you radically value yourself, it means that you are blowing up all false pedestals. And not only are you going to be doing that this week, but you're going to be doing it for the rest of the month and most likely for the rest of the year. So really what this Aries full moon is saying is that it's time to blow up all the false pedestals, meaning pedestals that you have placed other things and other people on. And it is actually time to put yourself and your value on the pedestal. So it's like it needs to change. Whatever you put above you before has to now come down, and you have to put yourself above everything else. And not in an egotistical way, but in a value sense, like in a value kind of way. That means that you are placing your value above other people, above performance, above money, above absolutely anything and everything that you can think of. And actually just take a moment and think about what you have placed on a pedestal in your life, or who you have placed on a pedestal in your life, that right now that illusion might be cracking and you might be feeling the need to blow that pedestal up. Because what I mean when I say put your value on the pedestal, it means putting your energy, your truth, your alignment on a pedestal, and watch what happens. And see how you are able to actually transform your life as a result of doing that. Because this week's energy and this particular full moon's energy is calling you out to burn the mask and just show up as yourself, to blow up the pedestals and finally put your value up on that pedestal. This is Aries. This is the self. And this is like a reorganization, a restructuring of how you see yourself, of how you love yourself. But more importantly, it is like magnifying, and I feel like it's really amplifying, and it's showing us how we value ourselves and what that value looks like, how that value shows up. What does that look like on a day-to-day basis? Because what this really truly means is that, and what this energy is really asking us or saying is, don't be afraid to say no. Don't be afraid to say no to money or opportunities that simply don't feel in alignment with you. You have to value your truth and your energy more than the money. there is this change in the balance. Like, isn't it crazy? Like, we're in Libra season. Libra is all about the balance. So this full moon, this completion, this is in Aries is like this balancing of the self. It's a balancing of, or bringing back into balance how you live from your truth. Or it is asking you to live more in your truth in order to bring balance back into your life, to bring harmony back into your life. Because when you value your truth, like your intuitive knowing and your energy, more than money, or more than other people's opinions, or more than anything outside of you, that sends a really, really powerful message to the universe. That says to the universe that I am not afraid to say no to the things that don't feel in alignment. I'm not afraid to follow my own truth, to listen to my own gut, to trust that guidance and trust those messages, even if I don't know where it's necessarily going to lead me. And that's a signal to the universe that you are standing in your power. And the universe loves to reward people that are standing in their power. And think about it. Your intuition and your body always show you your truth. They always show you what is in alignment with you and what is not. So I want to use a personal example here to show you what I mean. So yesterday, my mom invited me out to have some fish and chips. And I'm like, I haven't had fish and chips in a long time. That sounds delicious. I would love to. So we went out for lunch. We had some fish and chips. And afterwards, when I came home, I can't even, like, my energy level dropped so hard that I literally was straining my eyeballs to stay awake. I was so tired. I felt so incredibly drained from having the fish and chips, even though it was absolutely delicious. Like, it was really good. But it just drained me so much, which I knew in that moment, like as soon as I started to feel this like drain come over me, I knew in that moment that that was my body telling me, this food is not in alignment with you. This kind of food is not something that you can have right now because it's not in alignment. And it was kind of a tough lesson because, and it was a bit of an annoying lesson because I'm like, oh, it was so good. But if it's not in alignment, like, I can't do that again. I don't want to feel like that again. So your body is so intelligent. Your intuition is so connected to the subtle energies that your five senses are not picking up. And this Aries full moon is calling us to tap into that more, to really pay attention to that more, to those signals, to those messages that they are delivering, because they are truly trying to lead you to the best version of yourself. Those messages, that guidance that your body sends you, just the way the guidance my body was sending me was like, this is not in alignment with you right now. This is not for you right now. And it doesn't mean that I won't be able to have fish and chips ever again. It just means right now, this is not what my body needs. So notice the degree of drain that you feel from every encounter, from every food, from every situation, from every person you come into contact with, because these subtle clues are actually not even so subtle. They're huge. And this Aries full moon is really going to be highlighting them. It's really going to be bringing things to the surface to show you clearly what is for you and what is not for you. Not just now, but for moving forward, like for the rest of the year and moving into next year. The second thing I want to talk about is the lessons and the tests that are going to come under this energy. And not just this week, but like I said, moving into the rest of the month, the rest of this entire year. Literally everything I'm talking about in this video, just automatically assume that I'm talking about it for the rest of the year. So there are going to be some big lessons and tests around honoring your truth. And I think you might find that your intuition is going to be louder than normal right now under this Aries full moon. And while these tests are going to show up in many different kind of ways and in very specific ways for you, based on whatever you need to learn right now, whatever you need to have deeper awareness of, but what this energy is really saying is don't take a client or a job that doesn't feel aligned with you. Don't entertain a connection or relationship that doesn't feel aligned with you. Don't take an opportunity that doesn't feel aligned with you. Because in most cases, if an opportunity comes and it doesn't really feel resonant, something doesn't feel right about it, something doesn't feel like it's really what you want to do or just be a part of, then in that case, that opportunity actually becomes a test. It's a test to see how much you are going to stay in integrity with your own values, how much you're going to listen to your own intuition, to your own internal guidance system about what is or isn't in alignment with you, or how much you're going to ignore it. And as an entrepreneur, I can tell you that I honestly get a ton of emails every single week from all kinds of different companies, from all kinds of different businesses and just different people that are trying to either sell me a product or sell me a service or show up as like an opportunity to work together. And 9 times out of 10, I don't feel in alignment with those. So I don't engage. Like if it doesn't feel in alignment is what I'm trying to say, then don't engage. This also means don't make any purchases that don't feel aligned. So anything that you are kind of thinking about buying, or maybe it was suggested to you or whatever, if it doesn't feel in alignment, just stay away from it. It's not for you. And there's either going to be some kind of a hiccup with it or something isn't going to work out well. This Aries full moon, I feel like wants you to hone in so deeply on your intuition, to connect so deeply with your truth and with your value system that it's going to kind of create all kinds of scenarios right now for each of us that will actually test those value systems, that are going to test your truth. And not only test, but I feel like this kind of energy also gives us an opportunity to realize what is in alignment, to realize what is working for us and what isn't working. Just the way I had to realize with the fish and chips that, oh, okay, no, I got to just stick to the things that I was doing, the way that I was eating, because that's what felt good. The things that were keeping me feeling energized and not lethargic, afterwards. I made a video, actually, a non-negotiable video. I'm going to link it, I think, in the description box below, because it very much ties in with this energy right now, where certain things are just non-negotiable at this point. So, like I said, if any tests or lessons, or we can also call them opportunities for growth, come up over the next month or few months, or even over the next year, about these kind of things where your integrity is being tested, where your truth is being tested, where your intuition is being tested, and you are being tested whether you are going to listen or not, whether you're going to follow that internal guidance or allow other things outside of you to pull or sway you. I feel like all of this is really just bringing us back into more awareness of how to stay aligned within ourselves, how to actually stay in our own lane. The third message of this full moon is whatever you do, do it for the right reasons. Whenever you make decisions from the right energy, and by that I mean listening to your intuition, following through on inspiration that you're feeling in the moment and acting on that inspiration, that will always pay off positively. Even if you can't see it in the moment of how that's paying off for you, it is paying off for you, I can assure you. Because repeated good decisions amount to valuable results. So when you create something or give, have value in mind first, not money, not attention, not likes, not subs, not validation, not making someone happy, but value. Because everything is energy. And I know that we know this, but we often need to be reminded that everything is energy. So your energy is infused into everything that you give, everything that you do, everything that you create. Your energy is infused within those things because that's where you created it from, your own energy, right? And this means that everything coming at you is also infused with a certain energy. the energy of the person that created that thing, or the energy of the person who's coming towards you or at you. So your awareness of your own truth is going to help you decide whether to engage with that energy or not, whether to let that energy into your energy or not, whether to say yes to it or to work with it or not. So this is why whatever you do has to be done for the right reason. The fourth message under this full moon is to build self-trust. When you stop abandoning what you really want and desire, you're strengthening your relationship with your intuition, which is actually building self-trust. And the more self-trust that you build, the better actions you're going to take, the better decisions you're going to make, and the more in alignment you actually become with your own truth. And the more balanced this energy of self-trust and action becomes within you, the more unstoppable you become. So the less and less you abandon yourself, the less and less you abandon your needs, and the less and less you break your own promises to yourself, the more momentum you're actually going to build with self-trust. This is like, I feel like it's like a muscle like everything else. You know, everything in life is like that, isn't it? The more that we practice doing something, the better we get at it. The stronger that muscle becomes, the more repetitive we do it, the more natural it starts to feel, the more normal it starts to feel. And before you know it, this is your natural state of being. Not to mention, this is also how you raise your vibration. Because every single time you abandon yourself or a desire, or every single time that you are not listening to your own intuition and doing something because it appears to be an opportunity, or because you are placing something above yourself, like money or whatever else. Like so many people that I know, work in jobs that they don't enjoy. And they do that for this exact reason, because they are putting money on a pedestal and they are willing to sacrifice themselves for that money. But what happens is when you are sacrificing, there's always something that you are giving up. And that something always has to be paid for by you. You are the one that has to give something up in order to get that money, and in order to do that thing that you don't even want to be doing. So most people that work jobs that they don't enjoy working are constantly giving up something. They're giving up joy, they're giving up their peace, they're sacrificing even their time, their value, their own personal value. Like, you are sacrificing your value in a very, very deep way when you put money on a pedestal and you think that money is more valuable than you. The fifth and final thing I want to talk about under this full moon energy is know your zone of genius. Now, if you're not sure what your zone of genius is, there's a very, very simple way to find out. 1, write a list of what you're good at. 2, write a list of everything that you enjoy doing. Compare the two lists and look for overlap. Wherever the overlap is, that is your zone of genius. When you prioritize your interests, you can channel your energy into your creations fully, which increases their value. And this could be your services, your products, any creative work of any kind. And this full moon is actually kind of pointing out that, have you ever noticed that you always have like infinite energy when you're doing something that feels really aligned with you? When you're working on something that you really enjoy or really love, it's like 5, 6, 7 hours will go by and it's like you barely even notice. Well, that's why, because infinite energy starts to pour out of you because it is in alignment. It's not draining you, it's filling you up constantly, versus pouring energy into something that is not aligned with you. You're automatically going to start to feel drained. You're going to feel tired. You're going to be dragging your feet. You're not going to be hyped up about doing it. Those are all indications that what that thing is not in alignment with you. And sometimes there are things that we have to do that we don't necessarily like or enjoy or want to be doing, but we kind of have to do in order to grow. And that's different again. So when you are in a situation where you have something before you that you need to do or that you need to work on, you got to ask yourself, is this something that I'm hesitating or procrastinating on doing because it feels big, because it feels new, because it feels a little bit scary, or because I feel maybe incompetent, or I feel like I'm not going to be good at this, or that it's going to be hard? Because 9 times out of 10, that is the case with everything that will grow you, right? Which is different from trying to force do something that just isn't in alignment with you. So I hope you can kind of feel the difference, like when you're forcing to do something versus where you're just hesitating to do something because it feels a little bit scary, because it feels a little bit like, ooh, I haven't done this before. There's a huge difference between those two energies. So again, this Aries full moon is asking you to tap into your own intuitive abilities, to your own awareness, to your own truth, and assess each situation as it comes up as to what category it fits in. Is this a forced thing that I'm trying to do, but it's not actually in alignment? Is this something that is in alignment, but I'm just kind of scared to do it, or I'm hesitating to do it because it's different, it's weird, and I haven't done it before? And when you are working in your zone of genius, you will often find yourself entering into flow state and tapping into higher states of consciousness, which will exponentially increase the value of whatever you're creating in that moment. And flow state is actually an indication that what you are doing is fully in alignment with you, that it's your jam, it's your thing. It's a good match with your personality, with who you are, with your experience, everything. And it comes from like a very relaxed energy. So even for myself, when I'm tapping into flow state, I know I'm tapping into it very, very naturally. It's a very peaceful energy. I'm super calm. I'm at ease. I feel like very home in that energy. And so it's like the creation process feels more effortless. It just feels more natural, more flowing. And this Aries full moon is asking us to tap into that energy more, to create from that energy more. And the really, really beautiful thing is that your zone of genius cannot be replicated by anyone, because no one has your combination of wisdom, skill, talents, gifts, life experience, creativity, abilities, meaning you have no competition to worry about. Zero, literally, because there's no one with your specific energy signature. There's no one with your specific combination of everything that you are, of all the things that I just mentioned. So I invite you under this very powerful supermoon in Aries to really tap into your own zone of genius, to really allow yourself to start building your self-trust, and to really making sure that whatever you do, you are doing it for the right reason, to be mindful of the lessons and the tests that are going to come up in this season of your life, so that you can align more with your authenticity, so that you can align more with who you truly are, with your specific truth and what is truly best for you. And so that you can step into this radical self-love where you radically begin to value yourself and you put your value on a pedestal, not money and not anything and anyone else above you. There's no one above you other than God. So whatever is between you and God, whatever else you have put there, that needs to be removed. That's what this Aries full moon is saying. So I hope you found this information helpful and useful. I would love to hear from you in the comments below about how you are feeling under this energy, and I will see you very soon in the next video.